Today's the best story. Millionaire asked me out. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Maxi Motivation Life. So let's start. The millionaire asked me out. What would you do if a millionaire asked you out? Imagine you're living your normal life, minding your own business, when out of the blue someone rich, like really rich, suddenly takes an interest in you. It sounds like something straight out of a movie, right? But what if it happened to you? And what if things weren't exactly what they seemed? Let's rewind a bit. You're at your favorite coffee shop, the one you go to every Saturday morning. It's a chill place, nothing fancy, just cozy and perfect for some alone time with a good book. As you sit there enjoying your latte, you notice someone walking in. He's sharply dressed, not overly flashy, but there's an air of wealth around him. He orders a drink, and before you know it, he's sitting at the table next to yours. You're not paying much attention until you catch him glancing your way. Once, twice. For the third time, you're starting to wonder if you've spilled coffee on your shirt or something. But no, he's definitely looking at you. Then, out of nowhere, he speaks. Is this seat taken? You're surprised, but you nod, and before you know it, he's sitting across from you. He introduces himself. Let's call him Richard. The conversation starts off casual. He asks about your favorite books, what you're reading, how you like your coffee. It's smooth, almost too smooth. But there's something in his eyes, a warmth that feels genuine. Over the next few weeks, you bump into Richard more often. At the coffee shop, then at the park, even at the grocery store. Each time he's charming, funny, and somehow always says exactly what you want to hear. It's like he knows you, or at least knows what you want. One day he asks you out for dinner. Not just any dinner, but a private dinner on his yacht. At this point, you're starting to wonder who this guy really is. You do a little digging online and discover that Richard is, in fact, a millionaire. He owns several businesses, a few properties around the world, and his social media is filled with pictures of exotic vacations and expensive cars. Your friends are thrilled when you tell them. You hit the jackpot, they say. But something inside you isn't quite so sure. It's all happening so fast, almost too fast. But you push those thoughts aside and agree to the date. After all, what's the worst that could happen? The night of the date arrives, and Richard sends a car to pick you up. When you arrive at the dock, his yacht is even more impressive than you imagined. Candlelit dinner, soft music playing in the background, and the view of the city skyline. Everything is perfect. Or at least it seems that way. As the night goes on, you start to notice little things. The way Richard avoids certain topics, how he never talks much about his past, how he always deflects when you ask about his family. But he's so charming that you let it slide. Maybe he's just private, you think. Then, as dessert is being served, Richard looks at you seriously and says, I have something important to tell you. Your heart skips a beat. This is it, the moment you've been waiting for. Is he going to confess his love? Is this going to be your Cinderella moment? But his next words send a chill down your spine. I didn't just meet you by chance, he says slowly. I've been watching you for a long time. You blink, trying to process what he just said. Watching me? You repeat. He nods, his expression unreadable. I know how this sounds, but there's something you need to know. You're different. Different how? You ask, your voice barely above a whisper. Richard leans back in his chair, taking a deep breath before he continues. There's a reason I've been following you, why I've orchestrated all our meetings. You're special in a way that's hard to explain. And I needed to know if you were the one. The one? The one what? Your mind is racing now. Is this some kind of elaborate joke? But Richard's face is dead serious. I don't have time to explain everything now, he says, his voice lowering. But you need to trust me. There are people who know about you, about what you can do. They want to use you for their own purposes. I've been protecting you. You laugh nervously, trying to break the tension. This isn't funny, Richard. What are you talking about? He looks at you, his eyes filled with something you can't quite place. Fear? Desperation? I'm talking about your gift, he says. The one you don't even know you have yet. Suddenly the air feels thick, suffocating. Your heart is pounding in your chest. What do you want from me? You ask, your voice trembling. Richard reaches across the table, taking your hand in his. His touch is warm, but it doesn't calm you. I want to help you, he says. But you have to come with me now. They're already on their way. You pull your hand back, standing up quickly. This is crazy. I'm leaving. But as you turn to go, you hear something, a distant hum growing louder. You glance back at Richard, and he's already on his feet, urgency in his eyes. "They're here," he says, his voice barely above a whisper. Before you can react, the lights on the yacht flicker, and everything plunges into darkness. You hear footsteps, whispers, and suddenly, you're not sure who you can trust anymore. Do you run? Do you stay? Your heart is racing, your mind spinning with a million thoughts. But deep down, you know nothing will ever be the same again. And just like that, the life you knew is over. But what comes next? Well, that's a story for another time. Thanks for watching. If you want to hear what happens next, make sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to follow me on social media for more updates. See you in the next one.